Hello friends, I started to edit this video and I realized I don't really have an introduction to it because I had high hopes. I thought I was just going to mend all these baby clothes, have them all ready, and then I would show you the grand reveal at the end, show you all the clothes, maybe do an introduction. That didn't happen because I got tired of hand sewing because I obsess over a hobby and then switched to another one. I obsess over a hobby and I do it every single day until I get tired of it. And then I switch to the next hobby. So, I did not finish this, but I hope that you learned something from this video, that you enjoy watching it, and maybe eventually I can do a whole video on everything I have set aside for my future children. I've had some people a little bit confused a few times. People get confused by the things I share because I'm not a typical 22-year-old. Most girls my age, or even adults my age, no longer live at home. They're not really planning for their future except for a career and a house and college, getting out of college around my age. But I've never really had an interest in that. I've always wanted to be a mom. I've always wanted to have a homestead, and I've never understood moving out until, I never wanted to move out until I got married because it's expensive. It is so expensive when you add up the rent and the gas and everything else, and I know that I can be a blessing to my family, and they can be a blessing to me by me staying here because I'm able to help around the house more. I help with the baking, the sewing, teaching the kids school, all of that. And in return, I don't have to pay for rent and all that. Also, I'm someone who has had pretty inconsistent health. I've dealt with migraines and just getting sick often, a lot of joint pain, inflammation, all that kind of stuff. So I never felt like I could be a very good employee with my current health. I have been working on my health, but there's not a lot of jobs that would be okay with me taking off time pretty often and with little to no notice. And by the time you add up the gas it takes, especially since we live in the country and I don't want to move out, I would not enjoy that. It just doesn't really make sense. There's no profit in it, and it would be what am I running myself ragged for, you know? I have enjoyed working for short terms for other people, never officially, but just doing house cleaning for people, house sitting, doing their farm chores for them, working in the office. That's very fun. I enjoy that. Every time I visit my Grammy, whenever I can get a chance, I love to work in her office. It's so much fun. I love all the organization and even doing the phone calls. So I have had taste of different jobs, and I love that. I would not want to give that up. It's a great experience, but I know that half the reason why it's a great experience for me is because it's not my daily thing. It's every once in a while for a few days to a week, and that's it. Anyways, I just realized I went on a long rabbit trail. Not really connected to this video, but anyway, I have also always wanted to prepare for the kind of life I want. I want to live on a farm, I want to live on a large homestead, and I want to have a lot of kids, and just, I don't know, enjoy life. Do that. That's my idea. That's my ideal life right there. So I decided years ago to start setting aside things for that. And even if I never get married or never have children, I know that there is someone else that can appreciate these things that I've been making and buying. And I do think that at some point I will have my own home, even if I don't get married. So I won't lose anything by this. So sometime I'd like to do a full-length video talking about my hope chest. It's not really a chest, but that's what my idea basically is, a traditional hope chest. It started out in a chest, and now it's organized into totes because of how we live. Someday I'd like to give you guys a tour of that and talk more in depth about that, but this video is not about that. This video is about all of these vintage clothes that I'm making. I love vintage and antique clothing style. It's beautiful. Finding it in my size though in wearable condition is kind of hard. So instead, for now, I am setting aside baby clothes. And hopefully I will be able to make my own clothes as well. But I discovered some antique, what started this was I found some antique baby clothes at an antique store for like $1 each, and I loved them and I bought them. And then I was like, you know what, I wonder if I could find more of these online, because I couldn't find them locally for like almost a year. I hadn't seen any ever since then. So I realized what a great deal I had gotten and decided to start looking around. And I found on eBay that I could find a bunch of them, probably bought too many, way more than any child could need, for about, I paid anywhere from $1 to $6 for a piece, but mostly, I think the average was like $2.75 or $3.25 per item. So I had a lot of fun. I was able to learn the history of a lot of these pieces, and I just love the little collection I have now. And whenever I feel like doing some hand sewing, I will pull out some of the pieces that need mended, and I will mend them, and I enjoy that. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you learned something from it, or just enjoy it. I tried to include a lot of the processes I was using that I have kind of been doing. Some of them I've been doing for years, and some of them I kind of developed, whatever, not perfected, they're not perfect, but I worked on and learned these things while mending these clothes, and some of them I already have done. So, hope that you enjoy this video, and that's all. Bye! Mom, look at those colors. This little knit one actually probably cotton, which is nice. I was worried it would be acrylic. Let's see. It's a little bit bigger than I expected, but also smaller, if that makes sense.
6 months?
Yeah. Oh wow, I love this one. Look at that.
Yeah, I do too.
Oh, it's so precious. Itty bitty pleats, and then the back. I'll just have to do an over.
It's kind of cute, especially like as a slip underneath there.
I know.
Just in case it shows.
Look at that!
That's
The nice thing is in I'm a little bit sad that none of the buttons are the ones that I need to replace that one. You can see this one's a bit more yellow than the other one. I don't think it was meant to be yellow, it's just oh, look, another little pale one. Look at that. Handmade, Alfred Leon original, made in the Philippines. And this one has kind of a no color. Oh, this is the little one with rosebuds on it. Look, this one's a little bit scratchier. This one says 100% acrylic, and it's probably later. It says cradle knit. I'm guessing it's probably more like, yeah. Well, I was thinking it possibly 60s also, but it could be later too. Sending my package in 2 things. I'm guessing, yeah, because I noticed the lady that shipped it wrote 1 dash 2, so I think that would be 1 of 2. Oh, this is the one that is, I'm pretty sure is wool. Little like, because I've seen a lot of this style and stuff from the same era, and they were wool. And the back has embroidery too. I see it's like a little tie one, and then the sides are kind of open. None of these really have any smells, which is really nice. Like, not that I mind a little bit of an old smell, but okay, I'm trying to figure out how these are folded. Okay, she folded them into 4ths. The first one has very deep, like, oh, it's unraveled, that's partly why. The armpits. This is very simple. wanted to try this method before I showed it on camera, but this is the sweetest little dress that I'm mending. And excuse the dirty fingernails, I was outside. Anyway, this is the little patch I made, and this is what it looked like before. There's just a little worn hole, but it wasn't exactly completely through. You can see that. See, it's just kind of worn through. And I wanted to strengthen that without making it super obvious. I mean, like, you can tell because it's such sheer fabric. But if it wasn't so sheer, I don't think you'd be able to see it so well. So what I did is this little visible, it's meant to be visible mending, but I did it backwards basically, and it's still a little bit visible. Oh well. I saw how people will make a little, they will outline the shape in a square or a rectangle in thread, so that's what I did, and then you run strings back and forth like if you were weaving, and then you just use your needle to weave. It's like a little woven thing, and I'm trying to get a better video of that, but I think it turned out pretty well, and I think it will really reinforce this fabric, even though you can still kind of tell that it's there. I feel like it's less, that's through one layer of fabric, and I feel like it's not as obvious as it's showing up on camera, but it's very relaxing to do. So first I just made really tiny, I tried to make it almost like I was weaving into the fabric. Now my thread is thicker than the threads used in this fabric, so I can't do it quite the same, but you can see I kind of just went up and down. Let me see if I can use my needle to show you. I made very small stitches here. Let me see. You can see that there's just very you can see the very small stitches here that I made. Just wove it into the fabric and then made a little box, giving a good amount of room around the little mark. And now I'm starting to make loops by coming back and forth. I anchored it right here so that it didn't move so much, and I'm just going through and running loops back and forth. I'm going to do this all the way across this direction. So I just made these little loops anchoring it at the sides. You see, it's when I'm trying to focus my hand. But I made these little loops, and now I'm going to go over the first one, under the second, and then repeat that all the way to the end. Then I anchor it with a stitch on the opposite side, right here, because I'll be on this side when I'm done. And I just keep going back and forth all the way to the end. It makes up its little woven thing. I would try to show you, but every time it tries to focus on my hand instead of fabric. Just like that, and then I will... It's so hard to do this watching through the camera instead of... Then I used my needle to kind of push it all back and did a little stitch right there to anchor it. So, no, it's baby clothes and maybe some books. We'll have to see. Oh wait, I need scissors. My plan was to make this like an all cute little video and like well edited and like, you know, sit down and do it and talk about my plans for fixing all of them, whatever. But I was too excited. And now I'm like, already did it awkwardly the other night, so oh well. But I am so excited. And Mom and I were just looking at the address on these. It's kind of fun to see where some of them came from. There's like some from Iowa and Mexico and different places, and it's fun. I already have gone through about a third of the packages that come in, ones that need to be fixed, I mean, and I'm loving it. I don't regret buying these at all. Okay, so this one is from California. Wrapped it all nicely. Yes, you know me? It's nice when they come in these bags because I've been trying to keep them more organized, like what needs mended, what does not, shirts, pants, dresses, all that kind of stuff, you know? So this is very fun. Ooh, I know what this one is. This is a really cute one, Naomi. You'll love it. Ooh, this one's gonna be adorable. These ones are little dresses. These ones are a bit different from the rest of them. You see it, Nene? Isn't that adorable? Are you gonna sew on it? Only if it needs it. I don't think this one needs it, though. This one I think is just for fun. No, the sash does need sewn on better, but, like, super soft, too. Doesn't really have, it only has a slight, like, antique store smell. So that's really nice. I need to just fix one of these ties. It's starting to come undone here. But other than that, it's in like great condition. This is like adorable. Look how cute. This is also one of the largest sizes I got. Most of the things I got were not this large of a size, but these ones are just so cute I couldn't resist. And there's this cute little dress. So you know me? This one's your favorite color. Pink.
Why is it?
Because they would put a little slip dress underneath it. So it's like this cute little kind of party dress. Really cute. Again, no sewing needed on this one. It was just too cute, so I had to get it. There are some little, well, actually, there are these little, like, tiny holes here. And I might do something about that, and I might not. I might just leave it. I'm not sure. We will see. Alright, and then... Ooh. These ones were just pressed. Look at that. So pretty. Look at that, Naomi. Yeah, just the slightest old smell. Not really any. I don't mind that at all. It's like an old book. This is, I think, the listing that the lady said she had washed them all twice and dried them in the sun and all that to get them. Oh, this one's so sweet. There's a tag. It's nylon, cotton, and a little bit of polyester, which stinks, but well. Size 2, it says. Little flowers. So you know me? Oh, and I just noticed there's like this ribbed fabric at the sides. And this one, it almost matches it. It's just slightly different flower colors. Other than that, it's identical. And the tag was cut out. This one's cute. See, yummy? Another one with the lace on the bottom. And again, I don't think this one needs any sewing either. I got one of these that was real silk, but I don't know if this one actually is. I think this is actually sateen. It doesn't feel as nice as the other one, nor is it finished the same. Yeah, I think this is, I don't know, it might be, but I think it's imitation silk. And the last piece, it's a super cute slip dress, which is a bit larger than some of the other ones I had. Oh, that's cute. She tied it all up. Little tag. Apparently she has an Instagram, so I'll let you see that. And I will leave all of the seller's information in the description box as well, because they're all very sweet. And there's one package that I cannot wait to get that has, and by the way, I always reuse this stuff. It's so nice. I love whenever sellers use recyclable pieces, so I can reuse them. Anyway, there's one seller in particular that I'm really excited to get the package from her, because she gave me some of the history of clothing as well. She didn't have very much, but what she gave me, and guys, you gotta see this, it's so pretty. This package was made up so nicely. And I remember specifically talking to this lady, and she was very nice. Folded everything up so neatly. And look at how pretty that is. Oh, that's fun. I feel like nowadays leaving a matchbox is like not as common. I feel like hotels and stuff like that do it, but I feel like this used to be more common, so I love that she included that. And this is the first. This is so cute. I'll probably let my nieces play with this. A little bonnet.
What is that?
It's a little bonnet.
Oh.
Is that fun? Look, Nene. It's red. Aaliyah would love that. And then this adorable little handkerchief with little roses, rose appliques. This adorable one. This is actually two. I accidentally picked up two. This little rosebud one. Flowers. I actually do use hankies. All right, first dress. This one. Bit of lace on the edging. I don't think any of these will need to be repaired. Look at how cute. I love this one. This one does need to be repaired, actually. The back is ripped. But look at that. I tried to find more unique pieces in the lots. And so there's a couple that have just really cool details on them. And I love this one. The back, I find it's very common for like right here to be ripped. And other than that, there hasn't been a lot of tears or anything, so that has been nice, but also I enjoy sewing them, so I don't really mind if there's a few. The next is this little pink slip. I actually have one almost identical to this one. The bottom is the same, and the color is the same, but this little embroidery is different. It has tiniest buttons on the back, lace along the seam, front and back, on both shoulders, and then the front is this adorable adorable little chain of flowers. Isn't that just... And then the bottom has a lace panel, and then a ruffle, and then some lace on the bottom. So tiny. A few of these pieces are missing buttons, so I need to eventually buy a button lot to replace some of these. But I was waiting to see how many buttons I would need, what style, all that. This dress is adorable, and it's also pretty unique for some of the ones that I got. I thought maybe it was missing a button, but it's not. Look at how cute. And then down here, super cute. This one's a really wide design for most of the ones that I've seen. This one has a different design on it. Pink and white and blue in the front. And lace, not only the shoulders, but down the top of the sleeve. There's a little lace bit. Down the bottom. And then it's this super cute little dress that, unlike the others, so look at that. Isn't that just adorable? And this one buttons down the front, which is the only one I think I got that has this. But it buttons all the way down the front. I think it's so cute. Lace on the sleeves, and the back has a few pleats. Cream colored. Oh, cute. This one has double buttons in the back. Like 2 right beside each other. Look at how small. They're adorable. And then there's a little, like, I don't know if you can see that. Kind of, oh yeah, now you can see it. And again, this one does not need to be fixed, but look at that. The detail on these are just, and this is the last one from this package. It has this cute little design, and this one is quite large. It's pretty long. This one I think is definitely toddler size. Because if it was just this long, it might be a smaller size, except how large it is. Like, it's not my size, but the front looks like. It has this cute little design on the back and placket as well. Longer sleeves again. Little scalloped cuff. And then the back, pretty simple, but it has scallops and pleats. This one. Look at that. So many rows of pleats. So adorable. Look at that. More of that pink and blue embroidery. This one, I didn't realize at first. I thought this was just some embroidery, so it has like a scallop bottom. And I thought that this was just like a pink. It's a different name than I thought. I thought this was just some pink embroidery. And the photos were a little bit hard to read. So see, there's all that. So sweet. The photos are a bit hard to read, and I thought it said Betty May. But now that I see it, it says Bertha May. And I think that's cute. So someone had this embroidered for the daughter, and I think that's precious. Alright, now it's just these boxes, which might not be baby clothes. It might be books. I put my scissors. They just slid down. But anyway, it might be books, but I thought I would open it just in case. And besides, who doesn't want to see some books? I always thought Etsy was kind of like a dead place that like no one really ever used. The only people I ever heard mention it were people that sold on there, but they only sometimes sold on there, so it wasn't even like they were on there very often. And then the only other people besides that was people that wear vintage. They always said eBay was a good place to buy vintage clothing. But I looked so many times and I never found anything that was interesting, never found anything that was even close to my size. So I just kind of forgot about it. But when I was scrolling Pinterest a few weeks ago, I came across this little boy's like 1950s dead stock romper thing. It's like pants. It wasn't really a romper. There was pants and shorts and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, that's really cute and a really good price. So I clicked on it. It ended up being 56% cotton, the rest was polyester. So I didn't want to get it. Yeah, these are my books. Yeah, I'm so excited. So I ended up not getting it, but I saw and suggested, like, people that looked at this also looked at these things and whatever. There was a ton of great prices on baby clothes, and I was like, okay, I found those vintage baby clothes or actually antique baby clothes at the antique store so long ago. I have never come across any since then, and I was like, I should just, because I was kind of waiting it out to see if I'd find any more antique stores or thrift stores, and I hadn't found any. So I decided to just go ahead and get some, and I got more than I intended, because I kept finding better deals than before, but that's okay. I am having so much fun mending them, and it wasn't like a ton more than I was kind of initially planning. So, my books. I'll show you my books because why not? Everyone wants to see books. Dora Dean by Mary J. Holmes. This is a lot, and they're not like absolute best quality. They're a bit loose, but I had to get them. There's an address in here and a name. Woven on Fate's Loom, which has the exact same picture as before on the other book. And this one is by, let me see, Charles Garvis. I was gonna say, I didn't think these were the same author, so it's funny. They were just the same publisher and they reused the photo. So let me see. It's set in Cornwall. And no publishing date that I saw, at least. And then the last was 3 Years at Glenwood. This one's in the best condition of the three, by Margaret E. Wilson. Super cute. And this one's in great condition. And no date on this one either, but here's a cool picture. Alright, so those are the books I got. The other one's probably going to be books too, but I'm not sure. We'll see. Packaged well. Ooh, I know what these ones are. 4 books. Alright. First of all, my excuse for buying these books. I have a few excuses. But one is that one of my goals for book collecting lately has been things with really cool covers, gold on the spines, or like just gold on the books, I mean, and cool spines of books. But I mean, like, you want them to look pretty while they're sitting there too. So, look at how cute. So it says A Runaway Brig by James Otis, and this author's been on my list for a while anyway. And scrumptious paper. I would use that as like wallpaper. This one's a bit small for that, but you know. And this one is from, let's see, '88. That was the other reason. I knew there's another reason. I've been wanting 1800s books. That was another bookish goal of mine. It's an 1800s book. And then another reason for this one, Madam X. It's been on my list to read because I honestly don't remember all why. I've heard a lot of people mention it, and I think I wanted to watch the movie or something, but I always have to read the book first. So, Madam X was also kind of a cool, I think this qualifies as an interesting or cool or unique spine as well. Let's see. Belonged to Birch, I don't know, Johnson. Madam X. She's glowering in the corner. A Story of Mother Love, from the play by the same name by Alexander Bison. Look at how cool these would look on a bookshelf. Just a second, pardon. I'm not gonna hold all these, there's too many to hold. Then here's another one fitting my criteria. Oh, it's so textured and cool. Look at that. It feels so neat. And then on the other side, and then the spine. I too short for dull and interesting books. Mostly Marjorie Day by Virginia Townsend. I have never read this book or heard of this author. This is 1891. So copyright 1891 by Lee and Shepherd. To her, whose young life was unfolding into womanhood, lovely and noble, like the one I have tried to portray in this book, to my sister, Emily Florence. Florence is a cool name, by the way, and Emily is my mom's name. And this author is one of my favorite authors, Frances Hodgson Burnett, and this is The Shuttle. I do not have this book yet. This copy isn't in the best of condition. It's a bit faded, but it feels sturdy enough. And this one is copyright 1907. There are cool things in this book. Where is that? I just lost it. People have left pages in here. March 6th of 89. This is a list of books, it looks like. I always love when people leave things in the pages and when sellers don't take it out. It's like, that is a part of the book's history. Leave it. This is Penrod and Sam by Booth Tarkington. June 22nd, 1945. Myron Johnson. From Daddy. Myron D. Johnson. Cool handwriting. Look at that J. So cool. And the last one, Jean Stratton Porter. I love her books. And this is At the Foot of the Rainbow. And I did not have a copy of this book, but I have read it before. There's a photo.
Hi, my name's Rome.
Hi, this is Rom. His name is Rom. Oh, he is my nephew, and I love him. And I love your freckles. That is the it. And that is the it. That is it for these packages. I have opened them all. And now I'm going to go read. I was going to go sew, but I'm going to read some. I'm reading Rebecca right now, though, which is kind of sad because it's a really good book, but new books. That just means I've got to hurry and read Rebecca so I can read my new books. While the excitement is still there before they go onto a shelf to be unread for forever. So, this box I kind of wanted to go through and show you because this is the only one that I happen to know a little bit of the history behind it. So, I'm really excited. This lady was born and raised in Oregon, got married there, went to college a few times there, all through high school, all that. And these are her baby clothes that she kept until she died. So, I'm really excited. Look at this. She was born in January of 1931. Or 1930, I don't remember which. But anyway, so these are definitely 1930s baby clothes. These are all hers. They are mostly cotton. I would like to make some replicas of these, maybe to sell some and also to just have some. But it's a cute little bonnet, some little gathers at the top. You can see the inside. There's like a little triangle where they kind of took it in a little bit so it curves at the bottom. These all belonged to the same lady, and she was an artist, which I thought was really cool. And they're just like pink cotton. It was kind of neat to see the differences between these and the ones made later, or earlier, I mean. Like, you can tell, even though this is a nice baby wardrobe, you can tell it was made during the Great Depression, or kind of, they were trying to save more fabric here, you could tell. So this is a little pink dress that is same color as the little bonnet, same fabric. Also, I think these ties maybe were like from a flour sack. I could just be imagining that, but like the fabric is a bit different. And it's a striped fabric. I need to fix the end of it because it's starting to unravel a tiny bit. And some of this lace is coming off. Anyways, this little pink dress, and it's open in the back, which I was surprised. I thought maybe it was missing a button, but I looked and it's not. They just kind of tucked it back to hem it. And there's some raw edges in here that I would like to cover with maybe some hem tape or something. Yeah, it's just really cute. But I thought there maybe was a button missing, except there's no buttonhole and there's definitely no button. So maybe it's just meant to be like that. And then you can see the little pleats. This one needs a bit more repair. It's like maybe someone repaired it, but not very well. Like they just tacked it together. I don't really know. Looks like the repairs have been there for a long time, but this is barely even holding it together and isn't really a real repair. So I need to like cut out all of the little repairs they made or tried to do and fix it. It almost looks like a child was playing with it to sew with it. I don't know. And these clothes are all a bit larger than I expected, but this is why I wanted to get this set, because like there's fun patterns and stuff that were not in the other ones. So this is like a pair of pants. The waistband on this one is like missing completely. I'm not really sure what I want to do to fix that because it's too narrow and it's very choppy to just sew it back on. So I might take it off and put a new waistband on and then just use this fabric for like some scrapbooking, because I'd like to like just this edge piece. I'd like to have a little like journal spread with all the information about the clothes that I do know, and just for fun. Yeah, and then the pattern is little kids and little trees and some, I'm not really sure what that is supposed to be. But anyway, it's just like little kids and trees. And then on the corner piece, this is like pieced together with several pieces of fabric. But on the little edges, to give some more width to the bottom of the pant, they did a different kind of fabric. You can see the difference here. It's like the same, obviously the same kind of fabric, but it's blue trees and little pink tints and pink little girls and little pink wolves, foxes. I'm not really sure which one it's supposed to be. It's like just a silhouette. So it's like a corresponding fabric. That's what I was thinking. And there's a second pair of these pants, but they're in slightly better condition. And this one actually has the waistband on it. It does have a rip, but there's buttonholes here. So I'm guessing this is the style, because there's 2 buttonholes in the front, 2 in the back. I'm guessing this is the style. I'll see if I can find a picture. But I'm guessing this is the style where they would like button it to the shirt. And I think that's really cute. So I'd like to find some like 1930s patterns for that. And as you can see, there's like an actual waistband on this one. So this cute little bonnet. I probably would have bought this if it had been, like, I wouldn't have bought this if it was on its own, or if it wasn't in this lot, because this is a lot of clothing, because it is acrylic and it isn't in the best condition. Like this fur is like, it doesn't look really very nice. You can kind of see it's kind of dingy and very short. And then also there are like worn spots where it kind of unraveled here too. But I think this is kind of fun because I see this style in old illustrations pretty often, like the little scarf and a little hat. My great-grandma was born in the 1930s, and ever since I was little, I've been kind of curious about that, and like what clothes she would have worn, what it was like to be a little girl during the Great Depression, and just all the things. But she didn't, I never saw any photos of her when she was little. Her and my grandpa didn't have a lot of photos, but then also I was only like 7 when she died, so I didn't get to see the photos that they did have, or I don't remember seeing most of them. And then we didn't inherit those, so we don't have them. And so I think that was partly what made me very curious about what it's like to be a little girl back then, and also because I wondered what she was like when she was my age. So when I saw these like 1930s from the same owner, all that kind of stuff, and in the US, I had to get it because it's like kind of connects me to my grandma, even though my great grandma, even though these aren't her clothes and she wasn't from Oregon. But I don't know. It's just I had to get them. This I cannot decide if it's satin or silk, but it's like a little coat. My mom thinks it's probably actually satin and not silk, but it's like this little cape, which does need a lot of repairs to it. It has a lot of like, so it has this tie and a little collar, but you can kind of see at the back of this where the blue shows through. It's kind of like, what do they call that? Shattered, but it's not completely. I'm thinking maybe this is satin. I'm not sure. Anyway, it's just a little cape coat, and I'm going to probably repair this some, but also I don't know that I would really use it a lot because it is kind of in not as good condition. I know, which thanks to the seller for responding to my message and giving me all the information she could, because she's the one that told me it was not in the listing. She told me that she was an artist, that she had some of the lady's paintings, that these were her clothes that she kept for that entire time, and like when she was born, where she was born, where she went to college, when she got married, that kind of stuff. So that was really nice of her, and I'm hoping to find some photos of her wearing these clothes, but who knows. Probably be kind of hard from the 1930s and not knowing her name, but I'm gonna try. So this is like another tank top on. You can see they have the lines in it because it has like a texture to it. Lace. This is a little flannel shirt that it looks like to make it fit longer. They cut the back. It's a pretty clean mark, and then in the front they definitely cut it because they cut it and then like folded it back and stitched it down. You can kind of see that to make it, I'm assuming just to make it fit longer, which makes sense being, you know, Great Depression and all that. It's kind of a rougher texture, you can kind of see, but it's kind of interesting to see what flannel was like then versus now. Obviously it's older, so it's going to be a bit different texture. And then, I love these so much. These little pants, they're looking really wide because I was testing the elastic in them, and surprisingly there's still some stretch in them. Not a lot, but it's not so shot like anything in the 80s and stuff is. So, just better quality. These ones are just cute little pants and like a little yellow gingham. And the last item. This one is a little dress that goes with the pants, with a little top that goes with the pants. And as you can see, so on the collar, the bias tape is the best, but then on the sleeves, it's pretty much gone. So I'm going to put new bias tape on the sleeves, and then I need to fix some popped seams on the arms. Can't really see because it's kind of busy. This has the original button on it, which is so fun. It's like a little black button, which to me seems very 1930s style. It's really nice. And then the back did tear a little bit past the bias tape, so I'm going to fix that and then put black bias tape on it all over. I probably will, I'm not sure if I will put it on the collar right here, because right here it's still pretty sturdy and it's not really that worn, surprisingly. It's mostly just, I don't know, we'll have to wait and see. Oh, here's the buttonhole. That's cute. Cute little buttonhole. So this is the stack of clothes that I have, and I want to pair all of these. Let's see. Probably my favorites is the little bonnet and dress here, and then the little yellow set. Those are probably my favorites. That would be good. But then I also really like the pants. Yeah. This is my little stack, and it's cute. Something that I've found helpful when repairing these front seams is, so like this one, it busted at the armpit, and I am going through and stitching it wrong sides together, not right sides together. Just doing a line of stitches right here. But one thing that I found is if you do a few stitches in a row, and then, let me get this in here. So I do just a few stitches, and then after I've done maybe 3 to 5, let me see, I got tangled. I just pull them not too tight when I'm doing the stitches, because otherwise it will unravel the fabric. Once you've done like 3 to 5 stitches, you can hold below where the French seam is and just gently tug at it. And I just did this, so it's not really going to pull it much. And then it makes all your stitches nice and tight. You can't really see it because of the fraying edges, and I did it pretty close. But then it makes the whole thing a lot tighter, and I noticed it blends in better with the French seams that were there before, because you don't see a lot of threads. Like right here, you can see the little starts, but you won't see as many thread lines, and it will be a lot tighter and neater of a finish without ripping your fabric. Because if you pulled it tight after every stitch, it would just kind of pull out and unravel some of the threads, make it fray more. But if you wait every few stitches, hold it evenly, and then pull straight across instead of up, pull straight across, and it just tightens all of those stitches. So hopefully that makes sense, and that actually helps. After you have done your row of stitches here for the French seam to repair it, looks kind of like that. This one's a little bit bumpy because one side of it was stretched out, so I had to kind of gather it a little bit. But anyway, once it's done, I like to put, especially whenever it's at an armhole, which most of them have been, anywhere that I think would have more strain at the end, then I pull that tight. Then I like to add an extra stitch or two here at the end, and then to do the French seam part, I lay it flat open like this, go through only one side of the fabric, so it's now on this side of the fabric where I can simply turn it the other side, turn it wrong side out, and match it all up. And then you can kind of see, because this fabric is so thin, you can kind of see where that edge is. And then this fabric is so thin that whenever you match it up and lay it like this, you can kind of see that line where it's like 4 layers of fabric, and I just go right under that for the second line, and then it blends in really well with the other French seam, which you can kind of flatten out, and you can see where theirs ended and where mine will start. And then afterwards, when you've got all the way across here, you can just take your needle and slide it into the, kind of makes a casing where the French seam is. So you can just slide your needle into the first layer of fabric like that, tie a knot, slide it through the first layer of fabric, and then you can pull it a little bit tightly, cut your thread, and then whenever you smooth everything out, it'll be encased inside of the French seam, so you have no threads showing, which is very nice. So one thing I do whenever I'm doing this, whenever I hide the knot, is I only knot it one time instead of maybe 2 or 3 times. Ouch, broke my finger. And then I just go in right here as close to the knot as possible, so I can hopefully get it in the fabric, and if not, it will just be very close to it. And slide the needle in, pull it through, pull it a little bit tighter, just cut it close to the fabric. Oops, there. And then when you smooth this out, there are absolutely no threads visible, except what you just sewed. And it's done. This one shows a little bit because I did take in more fabric than they did. But as it gets, like once this gets pressed and stuff, it will start to just lay, just like the rest of it does.